Hey there, in today's video I'm going to show you how I make my face mask mock-ups. I'm going to demonstrate one black, one white, and then the third one's going to be white with black trim. It's not going to have trim on the sides, so that's the one I'm going to focus on the most. So let's get started. So first I'm going to start off by showing you how to bring in a mask and how to modify it or manipulate it or change it. And I'm going to come up to File, Merge, and I think I have one on my desktop or somewhere. Yeah. So I have a black mask. And if you see that there's a big box around it away from it, that means that I'm going to need to remove the background. And I'll show you what I mean by that. If I control arrow down to copy it, I come up here to change it, it's just going to make a box. So that tells me that there's a background that I need to remove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope that makes sense. I'm going to come up to the right panel, open the trace panel, select the trace area, and that looks good. So I'm just going to trace it. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to make this black. Make it bigger first. I'm going to make this black. I'm going to make the trace area, I'm going to make that transparent. Come up here to the top left. Click on that little diamond. Then I'm going to control arrow down. So I want to make a white one as well. And to get this here, which is the one I'm going to be working on. And plus, this is the one that the customer wants because it has a filter option or a filter pocket. But the side, on the sides, there's no trim like this. It's just white. So I don't want to present an image or a PNG file or a screenshot with something that I'm really not going to sell them. So how I get this, I hope that makes sense. How I got this, I'll go ahead and delete it. Is I brought this here and I came up to the right panel, and you see that little star, that's the offset panel. You click on it, click on offset, and it created an offset, and I'm going to make it 0.033 just to shrink it. Move this to the side, and I'm going to double click on it. Let me zoom in on it. Let me color it in. I noticed it on my videos that I would rather have that I should have them colored in just so you can see better. No, I guess you can't see it. Let me go back to white. I'm going to double click, and you see the nodes. I'm going to bring this one over here. I'm going to do the same thing up here. And I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to delete nodes. I'm going to disconnect those. So I'm going to delete these. Okay, so I'm going to click here. All I did was delete the nodes inside. And I'm just gonna make some adjustments like this. And come up to the middle, and you can sway it back and forth. Grab the middle and bring it down. Delete that one. And that's how I got the black trim. And make this transparent. Make this black. Come up to the right. And that's how I got my black trim. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did the sides. I need to turn off I'm going to make the matte transparent because I need to rely on it for the measurements. My overall end to end is 12 inches. I already measured it. And it's 5.5 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and measure it or size it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 inches, I think is what it was. Let me double check real quick. Overall, the overall was 5.5 inches, so that's what I need to make it. So we'll put it right there. Now we're going to come up here to the left and grab the box tool. It's at 2.5 inches, so I'm going to put it like right here. And I want to make it wide enough so that I can change, color it in. I'm going to hit escape. And then come to the right and color it in. I want it really, really light. Let's go ahead. I'm done with the measurements. No, yeah, I am. Actually, hold on. So hit control arrow to the right. And we're still using the mat. So 2.5 inches, we're gonna put it right there. And it's gonna need to be stretched out. I want it close to the black. That's good enough, right? Oops. Go back. Okay, that's good right there. Hit escape. So now we're gonna make the mat white. Just bring it all the way to the left. So now we're gonna go ahead and find a light gray color. So I don't want to give the customer the impression that it's black or, so we're gonna go with the lightest color available. And then we're gonna make the outline transparent, a little diamond. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Light, transparent. You'll see that here it went into the black. I don't want that on there. I want it to look as realistic as possible. Okay, so that looks okay. It doesn't look like this. See where the customer will think that it's black. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it because I want to give my customer an option on their image. So I'm going to hit control arrow down. Then I'm going to hit shift arrow down a couple of times. Okay, 3 times. I'm going to group this. Right click group. And me, because I'm anal or I have OCD, shift arrow down. I want it to be symmetrical or even or equal or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in that image. And all it did is it went to another window because it's an existing file. Normally I grab stuff from my desktop. So I'm gonna right click or select it, right click, copy, and I'm gonna go back to that project. I have it under HHP face masks. I'm gonna right click again and then paste. And because this is white, I'm not gonna worry about coming over here to the right panel to that little slice of bread and selecting the trace area. I'm working with sublimation, so it doesn't matter if it has a white background because there is no white in sublimation. So what I'm going to do, just so it doesn't come out of here, out of the line, I'm going to go ahead and just use this knife. I'm just going to cut the corners off. You don't have to, but this is just something I'm going to do just to, because I came up with an idea on another option for them. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here in the middle. I'm going to center it. I don't know what this red line is doing here. So I'm going to fill the mask. See how right there it's sticking out? I don't want it to stick out. See the green dot where you can pick it up and rotate it? I'm going to line that up with this arrow so I know it's centered. So right there, and I'm going to hit shift arrow down. Whoops. Sorry, let me go back. I'm going to click on control arrow down. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm going to shift arrow down a couple of times just to keep it in line. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, so I'm going to give the customer their option 1. And so that they don't think that it's so plain, even though that's really what they want. I want to try to help them get some sales, because that would be good for me as well. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna grab another, or click over here again, and I'm gonna type in the number 2. Whoops. And then I'm gonna put it right here and enlarge it. I'm not done, obviously. Good night. Okay, so that's going to be their option 2. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy. I'm going to control arrow to the right. I'm going to shrink it. And this, again, this is just an option that I'm going to present to them to help them out. Move it up. That way they don't say, oh, it looks too plain. So I'm going to highlight both of those, and then I'm going to hit control arrow to the right. And now I'm just going to hold shift down and just arrow to the left till I get it lined up. I'm going to present this option to them. If you want to, you can put the dot there. Escape, just double click, and you can put your dot there. Double click, put your dot there. And those are your mask mock-ups. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. If you're having trouble making like the size Lite. That's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.